Yo, what is going on, guys? Here, my name is XBuilderMan, and today I got for you my top 5 Clash of Clans base building mistakes. I tend to find these mistakes very common within a lot of Clash of Clans bases, so I'm here to explain them to you guys so you guys know what to look for. If you could go ahead and play a comment section war game of the day, go ahead and try to find the missing bomb. Now, it's unarmed, so there should be smoke popping out of it, but it is somewhere within this base or in this Clash of Clans little menu screen right here that you should be able to find it. So go ahead, find that, put it in the comment section down below. I'll try to comment saying yes or no. Alright guys, so the first mistake I always see, and this is the most common mistake, is people putting the clan castle not centered up to the base. Now what I mean by this is you have your clan castle right here on the outside, and what this allows for people to do, for most smart raiders, what they'll do is they'll go ahead and just deploy a troop like right by the town hall right here, and they'll be able to lure out all these clan castle troops, and then basically your clan castle is held useless. So you have a useless clan castle, and this can be one of the best defenses in your whole base if you use it correctly. If you can go ahead and put it into a very central location within the base to where it's all covered up, the whole radius is pretty much covered up by walls. As you can see right here, or even better, right here would be really good, because as you can see the whole radius is covered up by walls. Even if you put it slightly down here, people can deploy troops from the bottom of the base and actually lure the Clash of Clans troops out. So you're really trying to get it to where people actually have to raid the base in order to get to the clan castle troops, and those clan castle troops can really attack people without them getting attacked themselves. Right here it's useless, right here it's really good. Let's go on to the next tip. Alright guys, so the next mistake we have is having your air defenses on the outside. If they're on the outside skirts, this allows for a very easy raid from dragons or any air troops. They can go ahead and take this bad boy out without having barely any resistance. I see a ton of people doing this actually, where they don't leave their air defenses within the core of the base. The core of the base is where they need to be, guys. If they're outside on the outskirts of the base where they have very little defense actually covering them, they're going to be destroyed, and you're ultimately going to have an easy 3-star against your base. If I'm one of these guys who are raiding, I would see this base and I could think, oh man, this is an easy 3-star, because these air defense troops are basically held useless, because all they are going to do is really just damage a few troops and then they're going to be destroyed. Or another thing is if you clutter up your air defenses in one spot. That's another thing that can be really wrong. If you go ahead and put them like both right here, that's very easy. You're going to want to spread them out as much as you can. As you can see, these are on the way polar opposite quarters of each other. Now this is where they should be. Somewhere like right here is actually a good spot. Even closer would be even better. If you could put it like right here, guys, that's the actual ideal spot, just for the fact that lava lunions, dragons, all those raiding strategies that require air usage or air troops, they're very strong right now. And if you go ahead and give them even more an advantage by putting them on the outside, that's just going to be even worse. So go ahead, put them on way on the inside of the base as much as you can. Get into that core of the base, so when they actually get there, they're actually being held useful. Let's go on to tip number 3. Alright guys, so the next tip number 3, we're going to have to go with, never, whatever you do, never put your storages all in one spot. So as you can see right here, this is what I'm talking about. This is kind of an extreme example, but if you put it all in one spot, like I have it right here, and you have all your defenses just kind of surrounding it, this is just kind of like a quick little example I threw together. I just kind of made this base out on a whim, but this is what I'm kind of meaning. You'll see a lot of these bases, or if you think putting your base or putting all your storages in the core of your base is going to really go ahead and protect them, that's probably a wrong thought. I don't care how good your TH10 is. If you are a max TH10, it still will be a bad base building technique. What I'm trying to say is most army compositions, good army compositions, can get to a core of a base, and once they get to the core, if they get one, they're gonna get all these bad boys. So if you even think about this, if you think about any great base, they can all be 2-starred, and if they can be 2-starred, that means they can get to the core of the base, and if they can get to the core of the base, that means they're going to get all of this loot. If you can spread it out, they're basically going to need like a 3-star to actually get all of your loot, while this one they're going to need like a 2-star. So getting to the core of any base is really not too difficult. So if they get to the core, then they're basically done, because they have free will on all your storages. If you spread it out, I'm going to go show you a better base right here. This is just like a TH8 I used to have. I spread it all out. As you can see, they're all over the place right here. If I would have put them all in one spot, it would have made it a lot easier. Here's my TH9 design. As you can see, even some are on the outskirts, but that's still better than putting them all in the core of the base. So that's basically what I'm trying to say is do not just bundle them all up in the core of the base. Alright guys, so one thing, this looks a little ridiculous, but never go ahead and double layer. Now I kind of exaggerated it. I have like a hexa layer where I think there's 6 of these, so there's 6 layers right here, and I think over here there's actually 7, so that's a septa layer. But I've seen bases go as far to do this right here. Now it looks good in theory. You think they can't get through all these walls and all that good stuff, but they can. They have enough wall breakers, and wall breakers can go ahead and destroy that. You probably only need for this right here probably 3 wall breakers, 3 or 4 wall breakers, and they'll destroy all of those walls. So what I'm trying to say is don't go ahead and do this. Even don't go as far as to double layering something, or just going ahead and layering off just really weird layers. As you can see, we'll go ahead and look at a good base right here. There's nothing that has 2 layers consecutive, and that one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in a lot of bases, we're gonna go ahead and kind of like draw it out for you, is where they go ahead and they put something like right here, and let me just go ahead and wall them off real quick. And they do this. This is just a waste of layers in my opinion. I never respect a base that does this. Is basically they go ahead and do this, and this. Let's go fill that up, and then they just fill in some random space. There's nothing in here, and I tend to see that a lot. Some of the times it's pretty good, but usually you're always going to want to put like I like to have substance in every spot I put my walls in, because the walls are so valuable. If you're going ahead and wasting them on just random space, I'll tend to see even guys go as far as to do this. This is one of the biggest things I've seen is, let's finish. Nope, let's not do that. Let's go ahead and remove all. They'll do something where let's just use an example right here. They'll make like a square, a big old square when they have all their stuff in there. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's put that in there, and then they'll make like a little outreach right here, or whatever you call it. They'll make a little little spot for like their Teslas, and then they'll go ahead and they'll do this crap where they go ahead and they just make a layer, a useless layer right here where there's absolutely nothing there. I mean, there's no traps, no nothing. All they do is just put it in there to add like a double layer. And I guess that's good in theory, but it never does work out, guys, because this is a whole vulnerable area, and you're just wasting walls. You do not want to waste walls at any town hall level. It's just bad. So let's go ahead and get on to our last and final tip. Alright guys, so for the last tip we have for you is to stagger your base. Now, having a base that's unstaggered is really bad for wall breakers. What I'm talking about is basically on the outskirts of the base. Let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll do this right here, something like that. So you have your 2 walls right here, and you basically just do this. You go one straight line, and that's it right there. And you go ahead and separate them off. You separate them off just like that. What it allows for them to do is that wall right here will go right there and destroy that right here, and then they'll be able to go for both troops right here, or both defenses right here. Something to keep in mind, to a quick and easy fix to this, is go ahead and just bump this up 1 or 2. What this will cause, even if you risk some space, what this will cause is he'll hit just this spot, and he will not be able to get to this right here. Most likely. Most of the time it doesn't happen. The more exaggerated you do, the more likely it won't happen, and this will be nice and fine. If you go ahead and look at some of my best bases right here, they're actually very staggered. So what happens is they're only going to go for this corner, and they will not go for right here. They'll go for right here, they'll go for right here, they'll go for right here. They'll go for these big old corners right here, and they won't be able to get both of the troops right here. So the only thing is right here and right here, those aren't staggered, but those are behind walls already. So if it's already behind walls, you're pretty much fine, because all you're worrying about are wall breakers. You're just trying to go ahead and stagger is probably your best option. Let's go ahead and look at this right here. As you can see, everything right here on the outskirts is staggered at least 2 walls right there. So it just makes for a lot easier, a lot better. For wall breakers, you can't just go, your wall breakers can't just go ahead and destroy all the walls right here. As you can see right here, it's all staggered. And what I'm trying to say is 1, 2, 3, and then there comes this next row. as you can see, 1, 2, 3, next row, 1, 2, 3. It's not all in just a straight line like I was trying to show you. So if you have one of those bases that's just like a straight line, you might want to try to find out how you can stagger a base and make it a little bit better by doing that. So that's a base building. That's pretty much all the base building tips I have for you guys today when it comes to making an actually a really good competitive base. Those are the mistakes I see a lot of the time, are wasted walls, not staggering a base, worrying about the air defense is really bad, and then putting things too much in the core. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did find the air bomb or the bomb in general, go ahead and put in the comment section down below. Like this video up. I definitely would appreciate that. I'll see you next time, and later.